So, hello, welcome to Chest, Heart and Stroke Scotland chair exercise class. My name's Jackie, I'm your instructor, and just before we get going, just to make sure you're fit and well to take part today. So, if you're not feeling great, please have a rest and come back once you're feeling better. If you have any newly diagnosed medical conditions or significant changes in any medication you're taking, please check with your GP that you are safe to take part in this class. Okay, now, it's a chair-based class, so obviously you're going to need a chair. So we're looking at a kitchen chair or a dining room chair. So you want your legs to be roughly right angles or your hips just slightly above your knees, okay? So we're going to come to the front part of the chair. If you need your back supported at the back, please sit back there. And we're just going to get going by moving the ankles, okay? So, a few things to start with. Shoes. I like to do this class in my stocking feet. I like to feel the feedback I get from the soles of my feet, and if you wear shoes and slippers a lot all day, it's quite nice to do things in your bare feet or stocking feet. If you're going to wear shoes, please make sure they're flat and well fitted, yeah? Okay, and then another thing, we have options for weights later in this class. Keep moving your feet. We're looking at a couple of cans from your cupboard, or if you have light weights, half kilo at the most, then there's options to use those later on in the class. Okay, so we're sitting at the front. The reason why we're sitting at the front is you use your stomach muscles and your back muscles when you're sitting with your back unsupported, which is really good, particularly nowadays when we're not getting out and about as much. We're often sitting in a sofa or a chair with our back supported. So if you come to the front, that's great. Now for some of you, this might get too much. Feel free to go to the back for a few minutes and join back in at the front, or stay at the back. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so we're going to start with some mobilising exercises. Our first one is we're going to look at the neck. If you feel dizzy or you don't want to do this, then just stick to the feet movement just now. Okay, so sit up nice and tall. We're going to keep our shoulders down and slowly move our head from one side to the other, nice and slowly so you don't get dizzy. And you're going to just take the head just maybe a wee bit further than you normally would when you glance to the side. So we're just gently stretching the neck. These exercises are really good if you slept funny or you have tension in your neck and shoulders. And then one more time to each side. Breathe in normally. Then we're going to come back to the centre and take your chin towards your chest. And then glance up at the ceiling. So nice and slowly, chin towards the chest. Glancing up. Good. And then one more time, chin towards the chest. Feeling the stretch down the back of the neck and glancing up, not throwing the head back, just glancing back to the side. And then you're going to imagine I've tilted the screen to the side and you're just going to tilt your head. You're not looking up. And then the other way, and then the other side. So you're just taking the shoulder towards, the ear towards the shoulder, keeping the shoulders down. And if you want a little bit more, you can take the hand towards the floor. And you'll feel a nice stretch running down from the back of the ear all the way down into the base of your shoulder where it meets your neck. Okay, very good. And now we're going to go back to marching. So your options are you can stick to your toes on the floor if that's easier for you, or we're going to move towards just lifting the toes off. And we're looking at a nice relaxed ankle. So if you look at my feet, you'll see that my toes are dangling down. And that means my ankles are really nice and relaxed. Also, my feet are very quiet, so that's what we're aiming for. So we're starting to work those thigh muscles. Your stomach muscles are kicking in as you start to move the limbs there. Okay, and think about sitting up tall and breathing normally. Very good. It's just getting slowly warmed up here. Okay. Very good. Alright, now we're going to move on to the next of our mobilisers. We're going to do a shoulder lift. Again, if you don't want to move that part of your body or throughout the whole class, you don't have to do everything. Okay, so just go back to the basic march and join back in with us later. Okay, so you're going to slowly bring the shoulders up towards the ears and then slowly back down. And a lot of the older people that I work with, when they first start coming to me, they don't have a lot of movement in their scapula, in their shoulder blades, and this can really help with that. It takes out a lot of tension in the neck and shoulder area. If you're feeling a bit stressed, you can breathe in as you lift up and breathe out. If the news is getting to you or you've had a tough day, breathe in and breathe out. Imagine all that tension coming out of your body, and then one more time, breathing in and breathing out. Very good. Now we're going to work on just starting to loosen the shoulders, so you stay where you are. You're going to bend the arms right angles, you're going to keep them bent, and you're going to think about moving from the shoulders. So we're keeping our body still, and your elbows are going slightly behind your back there. So imagine you're going up a fairly steep hill and you're going to have to use your arms to get there. Okay, so we're keeping that angle in the arms, so we're not doing that. And it's all about loosening off our shoulders. Now, some of you might find you've got a very small range of movement. That's okay, that will improve the more you do this video, okay? So sit up tall, normal breathing, just letting those shoulders get warmed up. Get nice relaxed hands. Excellent. So we're now on to our next mobilizer. We're going to do the shoulder roll. So you're going to take your shoulders forward, I'll go sideways for this. You're going to go up towards your ears and then all the way back down. And as I said before, some of the people that I work with, they don't have a lot of mobility to begin with when they come to see me, but this does improve. So if you find that this is quite tight, you're not getting much of a lift or a roll, do this most days and you'll really start to see a big difference. It takes a huge amount of tension out the neck and shoulders. I love this exercise. If you sit at the screen all day, or you're sitting most of the day, this is a lovely one to do. And let's do one more. Ice pick circle all the way back. Very good. So we're going to go back to marching, clearing the feet from the floor, sitting up tall. Very good. Okay, and you should feel the stomach muscles working, maybe the back muscles. Remember, you've got that option of going to the back of the chair if you need that extra support for your back, or just a little break for a wee while. Okay. Good. Nice quiet feet. Okay. And just allowing those ankles to be nice and loose there. Alright. Okay, so the next one, hold on to the chair. You're going to keep your hips on the chair. We're slowly going to reach down to the side to start to mobilise the lower back. Now be careful, go back to the march if there's any pain in this, or you have back issues, or just make the movement really slow, you decide. Now, the hands are optional. If you feel stable, you can take them off and go a little bit further, but make sure you're feeling very solid on that chair there. Yes. So, let's do one more to each side, and you're between two panes of glass, so there's no twisting, it's just purely to the side, then just dropping that hand down towards the floor, then coming back. Very good. Let's march and let's bring in the arms. So we're bringing both together, and I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little bit warmer now, which is good. Okay, so as always, there's options throughout this entire class. So right now, if this is too much, arms and legs together, pick one. Yes, do either arms, either legs, whatever you feel like just now. Okay, we're thinking about good posture here. Remember, there's the back of the chair if you need it. Okay. Listen to your feet. How much noise are they making? Okay. And once you get used to this class, if you've done this video several times over, feel free to put some music on in the background, and I won't be annoyed if you mute me or turn me down, because once you've watched this a few times, you'll know everything I'm going to say. So find some music that you like. Yes, and that can be a great motivator to keep you doing some exercise a few times a week, okay? So, now, our last mobiliser, you're going to place your hand onto the chair, your other hand onto your knee, and sit up tall, and you're going to just turn around that spine there, and then we're going to go the other way. So I want you to imagine somebody's talking about you behind your back, and you're just going to turn and have a look, but we're going to be sitting up as tall as we can with no weight on that back hand. So just pivoting around the spine. This is brilliant if you struggle to get the seatbelt on in your car, or your arm inside the sleeve of your coat. Okay, and again, you might not find there's much movement to begin with, but you do this video a few times a week and you'll really start to notice the difference. Okay, very good, and then we're going to come back and do some marching. Brilliant, so that's your warm up with mobilizers. Now we're going to go into a little bit of a workout to work your heart and lungs, so just continuous movement basically, lots of options, and we're going to do a little routine of 4 exercises once through, and then we've got an option of adding some weights in. That is entirely up to you whether you do that, and then we'll do a little cool down after that. Okay, so our first exercise without weights just now, at the front of the chair, remember this back whenever you need it, we're going to do a heel dig. So nice and quietly you're just going to take the foot in front of the other one and just lightly tap the heel towards the floor. Okay, good. I specifically wore these socks so you can see where my toes are. I hate watching videos where you don't know what the hands and feet are doing. Okay, and I made them different from my trousers. So, nice quiet feet. Now, that's option 1. Option 2 is you can add a bicep curl as well. So you've got your hands by your side, elbows glued into the side, and you're just going to slowly take your hand up towards the shoulder. It won't touch the shoulder and back. Yeah? So, you can do this slower than me, you can do it quicker than me. It's entirely up to you. Arms only, legs only. You decide. As long as you're continually moving, you're getting some exercise, aren't you? Okay, now, I do this in all my classes, it's really good for the brain. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay, I love it when people have to stop, stick their tongue out, try a few times. Okay, great, so it's good to challenge your brain with different movement patterns. We tend to do the same thing every day. Okay, so still sitting up tall, think about that thread coming out the top of your head. Nice, quiet heels as well. Well done, so that is your first exercise. Our next one out of the 4 is we're going to take the foot out to the side and back in. Yes, now, depending on your hip flexibility, this might be a very small movement. I'm sorry, I started very big there. Or you may be like me, quite mobile in the hips, and you'll be able to take the leg out further. Just work with what you've got. You want the body to stay still and the hips to stay still. Yes, so your bottom stays on the chair, it doesn't pivot. Okay, and we're just going out and in. Now, this exercise works the inner and outer thighs, which is really crucial if we take a little slide to the side or a wee step to the side. It gives you the strength to right yourself back up again. Okay? Very good. So your arm movements with this, we're going to do a little half chest press. So if you bring your fists close to you, you're going to take the arm out and in with the leg. And we've got the elbow down just now. So what we're doing is we're thinking about opening up the chest muscle here. So you lot keep going. Okay, now these muscles get very tight if we spend a lot of time not in good posture. Yes, a little bit rounded, watching TV, looking at books. So this exercise, think about opening this part up. Yes, sitting up tall. Now, options. Legs only, arms only, or both arms. Yes? Okay, so we're here, alright. Another option is to bring the arms up a little bit higher to even parallel to the shoulders. It is up to you. I'm going to be about here. I'll stick in the middle here. Okay, good. So inner and outer thighs working. I can feel them. Okay, and chest and in between the shoulder blades working too. Really, really good exercise, this one. Okay, so that is exercise number 2. Number 3, we're going to do a toe tap. Sitting up tall, remember the back of the chair's there if you need a wee rest or to stay there for a while. So this is option 1, toe tap. So you're just going to straighten the leg, nice quiet tap of the foot. And now we're working the main body of the leg. So we're working the thigh muscles here, your quads. Okay? And when you bring the leg back, you're working the hamstrings at the back. Now, harder option is you actually straighten the leg. Okay, now you'll really start to feel the stomach muscles and the back muscles working here because you've taken a limb off the floor and you're taking it higher. Okay, so I'm I'm just straightening my legs the same height as the other leg. You can go a little bit higher if you want. Okay, and you'll really start to feel the slab of that quadricep, that thigh muscle working. And remember, your other option is toe tap. Okay, now arms. We're going to lift same arm, same leg. Okay, so we're going to do a front lift. Yes, so shoulders are down, palms are facing down, and we're just working at the front of the shoulders there. Now, it's much easier to do opposites balance-wise, so let's do an opposite. Remember your other options, toe tap. Okay, and also you can have the arms really low here, yeah, or you can come up to shoulder height. It is up to you. Just work with what your body is willing to do today, or what feels comfortable. Okay, remember the speed. You can go at whatever, slowing it down if you need to. Okay, so that is movement number 3. And we have one more. I love this one. It's the only way to work your bottom while you're sitting in a chair. We're going to do what's called a hip walk. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to move your hips towards the back of the chair, and then you're going to come forward again. So you carry on. I'm going to turn my chair to show you. Okay, so we're here, yes, and back. Now what I'm trying to do is lift my buttock, each buttock in turn, off the chair for the movement rather than rocking. Do you see the difference? So I'm lifting, I'm moving forward, and then I'm coming back. I've got a bit of a noisy chair. And then your arms, if you want to bring them in, we're just going to do a little circle with the arms, and then bring them up, just to work the shoulders. Okay. And we're going to do that 3 times more. Good. And then we're going to do it once more. These arms can be low, you don't even have to use them. Okay, and then back. Alright, very good. Now youth march again. We should be getting pretty warm now. Okay. And now we're going to do everything again, but you have the option of weights. Okay, so I'm going to use my ½ kilo dumbbells. You can use your tins of beans. I've got a man who comes to one of my online classes who uses empty milk bottle, empty milk cartons, yes, so he's on to a litre now, which is roughly about 1 kilo. So you can make these at home, yes, you don't have to go out and buy them. Alright, so we're going to start with the bicep curls, okay, so let's do the heel dips, okay, and then we're going to try slowly lifting the arm up and down. Now, when you've got weights, you need to control them, so don't let them just hang around. Yes, control them on the way up, and a lot of people I work with, just let it go on the way down. I want you to slowly lower it and be in charge of it. Okay, now we're going to try opposite. And your elbows are in by your side. So you're really going to use the biceps, this muscle here, if you keep the elbows down and you'll purely use the muscle to lift that up. And if you keep a nice straight wrist, you're strengthening your wrist by holding a weight and lifting up and down. Okay, so very good. Okay, now we're going to move on to our next exercise, which is our side tap. So, out to the side and in. Yes, small or big, nice quiet feet. Okay, and then we're going to bring our arms up, elbows bent, and you're going to try and take same arm, same leg out to the side. Your body stays facing, no pivoting. Okay, now if your elbows are low, that's going to be a lot easier with it closer into your body than if you bring your arms up. We can do double, we can do single, opposite, same, you choose. I'm going to do double, reasonably high, because I'm quite strong, and I can feel in between my shoulder blades working. I can feel the front of my chest. Get a good stretch, a good opening up. Such a great antidote to sitting or having not great posture. Okay, good. Remember, if you start to fatigue a little bit, you can bring the arms down, You can go back to singles or opposites. Yep, that is entirely up to you. Okay, very good. So our next one, we have toe tap or leg lift, you choose. So if you're going for the easier option, nice light quiet feet, point the toes, little tap on the floor, thinking about your posture. Okay, and then we're going to bring, whoops, I can't do that one, toe tap, we're going to lift the arms up. Okay, so this can be a small lift, remember, or you can come up to shoulder height. I won't go much higher. And then other option is to straighten the leg and do a little kick or a leg straightener. And you'll feel the thigh muscle working there, the quadricep working there. Think about sitting up tall, watch you don't round your shoulders in this one. Sit up tall. A harder option, double arm lift. So you work with whatever your body's wanting to do, don't worry about keeping up with me. And you want this controlled again, don't let the arms sort of swing around. You want to be in charge of the weights going up and down. Okay. Oh, I'm getting really warm now, that is working. You're working 3 limbs at once when you do this one. Okay, very good. And then we're going to walk back and walk forward using our hips. So you're trying to reduce that happening and you're trying to lift the bottom of the chair. Arms are optional. I would probably say for the first couple of times you watch this class, just to do the hips, because it's hard to get that movement without a big sway and think about the arms at the same time. If you've been watching this a few times, then bring the arms in. Well, you can have them up, you can have them down. In my class, we take them up and go backwards on the way back, and then we take them forward and down on the way forward. Just for a change. And again, we'll work in the arms there. Okay, and we're going to do that once more, and you've all done really well. That's a good 10 minutes of continuous movement. Okay, and come back to the front. Well done. Now we're going to take the weights down. We're going to do everything again as a cool down, but without the weights. Okay, so let's do the heel dig. Yes, and like I said at the start of the class, feel free, I think I said it, feel free to put music on. Yes, so if you've watched this class several times and you're fed up of hearing my voice and you know exactly what I'm going to say, and you're very comfortable with the exercises and how to do them, put on some background music, turn me down a little bit. And music is so motivational. It really does make you want to move. So dig out the stuff that you like, put it on. If you've got somebody else at home, do it with them. Ask them to join in with you. Okay, good. So that's the heel digs. We're now going to do the side tap. Okay, good. Now we're going to do a low arms here because we're slowly cooling down now. So we're just bringing the energy intensity down gradually. Okay, no weights either. Remember, you've got the option of just arms or legs. That's enough for you just now. And then let's try opposite arm, opposite leg, just to get your brain working. Good. Still sitting up tall, still thinking about good posture. Remember, the back of the chair is there if your back muscles need it. Okay, good. And then we're going to do leg raise or toe tap. I'm going to bring it down to a toe tap in a minute. Okay, and let's try opposite arm, opposite leg. If you can only do the same one, that's fine. And we're just going to do a small raise. Okay, good. That's it. So just gradually bringing the workload down. And then let's go to a toe tap. Still nice control arms. And what you might find is, if this is the first time doing this, you might find tomorrow you might feel some muscles in your body because you haven't used them for a long time, and don't worry, that's perfectly normal. Don't think that it's been harmful. If the feeling, the kind of tightness, or you feel that for a few days and then it goes away, that's perfectly normal response to exercise. Your body will adapt, it will get stronger. Okay, so you might find your back muscles might be a little bit fatigued after this, perhaps your stomach muscles or even your thighs, and you might feel them a little bit when you move and start to get up and move around tomorrow. Don't worry about that. Yes, go for a walk, skip a few days, come and do the class again, and your body will slowly start to get stronger and used to these exercises. Okay, now your last one, we're going to walk back and forward, and we're moving the hips. We're going to forget the arms. Slowly back and forward, lifting those hips, getting those buttocks working. Okay, good. And then one more time. Okay, and your breathing should be back down to normal now. Let's go back to lifting the heels. So when you're doing the sort of workout part, don't worry if you get slightly out of breath, as long as you could still hold a conversation if somebody was with you, okay? And then at the end of this cool down period, you should be back to almost normal breathing, all right? So you shouldn't be gasping, that's a sign that you've done too much, okay? And you should feel like your heart rate and your breathing is coming back to normal now, okay? So let's do some mobility exercises and some stretches to finish. So we're going to look at your shoulder mobility. Okay, so what I find with people that I work with is they find it very hard to take their arms round behind them or above them because their shoulders are very stiff. So we're going to look at bringing your arm round, and then you're going to take it to the base of your back and see if you can creep it up in between your shoulder blades. That's what you're aiming for. Don't worry if you're down here going, that's enough, yes? Just like all the other mobility exercises I showed you, if you were to do this regularly, it would really start to, you'd really start to feel that shoulder opening up. This is your rotator cuff here. You hear about people getting frozen shoulders or hurting their shoulders, it tends to be if they've reached around to get something. So this is opening up the front of their shoulders and keeping them nice and mobile. Okay. And you might find one hand moves a lot easier than the other, one arm. If you're right-handed, you'll probably find your right hand is going up a lot further. So that also shows you that you're really using that dominant hand the whole time, and perhaps use your left hand or your least dominant one more to do things. Yeah? Okay, and then, so that's opening up the front. Now we're going to open up the back, and you're going to slowly take the elbow up and slowly down. So we're stretching off the back of the tricep here, but we're also looking at shoulder mobility. Now, no cheating, take the elbow straight up. Yeah? A lot of people I work with go this way to get higher. I want you to go straight up and accept it, and slowly down. I know all the cheats. A lot of people do this, don't do this. So keep your head where it is, your shoulders down, and accept where your arm is going today. Okay, and a lot of the clients that I work with, they're looking at about here or shoulder height. Now obviously there's advantages of doing this. One is being able to comb the back of your hair, do up buttons at the back of jumpers, that kind of thing. Yes. And then we're going to take it up one more time and hold it, and you're going to use this hand to gently press, so that's you just trying to increase the movement just by the fraction of a millimetre or so, and then bring it down. So the other side, shoulders down and relaxed, your elbow's going to go straight up and straight back down again. So think about that pointy bit going up towards the ceiling, shortest route possible. Breathing normally. It's amazing how many people I work with that hold their breath on anything to do with stretches or mobility. Breathe normally and your body will relax. Hold your breath, your body tightens up. So we've got two more. And then last one, take it up and hold it. A little bit of a push, good, and back down. Now, for the legs, you stay where you are. We're going to point and flex the toe. Okay, and I want you to think about pulling your toe up towards the head, and we're gently stretching off the calf muscle there. And then you're going to take the toe up and hold it, so feeling a stretch down the calf. There. And then we're going to keep the leg where it is. Place your hand onto your bent knee. We're going to lift up, stretching out your hamstring here. You're going to lean forward, breathe, and hold it there. And again, nice and relaxed. Think about lengthening and opening up the back of this muscle here, the back of the leg. Okay, and then change sides. So point and flex. Nice and slowly. And when you're pulling the toes up, feel the calf muscle, really take your brain towards it. Pay attention to it. And then pull the toe up and hold it. So you're pushing the heel away if you're still driving. If you're driving a car, you have to have that ankle flexibility, so keep working on that. And then relax, place your hand on your bent knee, lift up tall, ease forward, stop when you feel mild tension running down the back of that leg, that knee isn't locked. Okay, and breathe. Yes, it's not the shoulders or the head. Good, and come back up. And then, we're going to work into the hips. Two options here, okay? If you can get your ankle up onto the opposite knee, please do. If that's not happening at all, you're going to cross your legs and you're going to actively open the top leg. So you can actually press it a little bit, make sure you're not on the knee itself, and you're thinking about your hip opening this way, okay? If you're up here, if you're very, very tight, which a lot of people I work with are, you're going to just gently press this, press your thigh open, okay? If you're easily open and there's no tightness or pain, you can increase the stretch by gently taking your chest forward. So it's not this, you're lengthening here and you're taking your chest over your lower leg there. Okay, and then change sides. Remember your options down here, think about opening up here, and you'll have one side tighter than the other. I sit like that, so this side, it's quite high in comparison, so I'm just going to stay here and gently open it up. If you're quite open here, feel free to ease forward, but I'm still working on this one. Decades of sitting one way just shows your body, shows you what you've been doing your whole life. Okay, and then your last one, if you're on your own and you're not seeing anybody just now, I do commiserate, so give yourself a hug, okay? And then take your head down towards your arms there, drop your chin to your chest, and then we're going to sit up, open your arms, and then you're going to hug yourself the other way, drop the head down. And then open your arms wide, sit up as tall as you can, and well done, give yourself a clap. Good job today. So, thank you very much for joining in. Please do this 2 or 3 times a week, and look at the other videos. If you find this video is very easy for you, you may think that you're ready to move on to the chair-based exercise class, which has the same warm-up, but we then move to standing options. So, thank you very much for joining me. Goodbye.